Hello and welcome to the Extreme Z Podcast, the only Dokkan podcast making your favorite talk show format relevant again. I'm your host, Epic Mewtwo.
And I'm your co-host, Kayvon.
And welcome back to episode 31 of the Extreme Z Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I know we're like 3/4 of the way into January, but Happy New Year.
Yeah, true.
This is the first episode of the year. Very, very excited to be doing this again in the new year because it is one of my favorite series to do, and I know that you guys enjoy it as well. We get a ton of comments all the time saying that podcast, good, yes, okay hand is what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm doing this because you, the viewer, can't see this because this is an audio production, but just know I'm doing it.
Or is it?
Nani. Anyway, I mean, I guess it is on YouTube. It's technically a video. Anyway, you get the point. We are starting off with a topic that I have actually been brainstorming a little bit recently, so I think it's going to be interesting. And we're also not doing anything too exciting because in January views are up.
Oof.
So I figured that we would do a topic that I've wanted to talk about, but it's not something that I want it to, be on trending. You feel? But anyway, before we get into all that, we do have a backlog of news to cover because obviously we haven't done a podcast episode in 4 weeks. We do apologize about that, by the way. Last week we had some complications and we're just not able, or last week, 2 weeks ago, we had some complications and we're just not able to record the episode during that week. But we're back into it. Hopefully we'll be good going on here forward. And we do have some great plans for the podcast this year coming up. So definitely stay tuned. All right. Well, we are going all the way back to December 22nd for news. Boy. So we're going to do a little bit of speed round for news today. Sorry, I'm just fueling up. We're probably going to speed through a little bit of the beginning news because obviously it's not as relevant now. And then when we get to the more recent news, we'll cover it in a little bit more detail because JP doesn't have too much going on right now. There is V-Jump to talk about. But Global has a ton going on right now with the current Dragon Ball Heroes celebration, which also I obviously want to hear more about because Dragon Ball Heroes, God bless. By the way, I have the fan off, which I usually do, but if you hear the wisp of the wind, that's what that sound is because it's hot in my room and it's like 8 degrees outside and it feels great. I'm weird, I know. Let's continue. So, starting off, an error, baby. Let's go. Are you looking at the JP one as well, by the way?
No, I do not have it up. Let me get it up if I can.
Okay, well, basically, what happened was there was a character, let's see, to make things easier to determine the activation, timing, and effect, a passive skill description of some characters, or planning on the following changes. Basically, they just updated some passive skills, is essentially what happened, to make them easier to proc. Is basically what they're saying here, which is good. Again, that was a while ago, though, so it's not really... we don't have to go too depth in about it. All right. Let's go ham. So, we had the Cell Ultra Prime Battle. Yes, the Ultra Prime Battle go live. As well with that, the boost did happen because, of course, during that campaign, or during that time, rather, was the Prime Battle campaign for the LR Cell. We did also have the Kid Goku event and the Boss Rabbit event. Update them, please, Bandai. Then we, of course, had the teaser for the Transforming Super Saiyan 3 Goku and the Transforming Majin Vegeta go up, as well as the Ultra Thank You New Year's missions for the countdown to the new year. And then we had the New Year's celebration, which, of course, consisted of login bonus missions. They also had the Lucky login bonus, which they got rid of the lowest thing that you could get. You could only get gold or higher, which was really, really cool.
Yeah, very interesting.
Very nice that they did that. We had the Super Saiyan 3 and Majin Vegeta Goku. Majin Vegeta Goku, yes. Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Majin Vegeta Dual Dokkan Fest go up. We had the Elder Kai banner reset. We had a Super Sale for that, which was actually really good this time. Hats off to Bandai on that one. Of course, their Dokkan events went live with every other Dokkan event in the game going live. They also used a different graphic this time that I think they've used a couple times before. That's not the super old one, which is great. This one has AG HEL Metacooler Int Black, STR Super Saiyan Goku, Tech transforming Trunks, and Fizz transforming Vegeta on it. Looks very nice. We did also get the brand new story event, which is the World Tournament where Goku gets his energy sucked by Yamu and Spopovich. And then we also had the new stage on the Dragon Ball Infinite History event go live. We had the Omega Shinron EZA raid return. I don't know, I guess just in case you didn't do it before for the stones. SBR, of course, went live. We had a brand new 20-second virtual battlefield. And then we also got word that the Tech Merge Zamasu got an EZA, which is really, really cool. Awesome that he did. Because technically, he is the only Merge Zamasu in the game. Because obviously the AGL one transforms to be able to get there. So he starts as base
there's the Fizz SR, but...
Also, he's also technically the only Goop Zamasu in the game as well.
True, the only base one.
Yeah, you can run the Goop one. No, you can't run the Goop one and the base form one, right? Like if you have an SSR, because it's the same one. Yeah. And then we also had the category banner for him go live as well, which was the super effective typing against him. Hero Extermination event, Extremes area, yay. The That's My Bulma event went up, as well as the Otherworld battle with Goku and Pikkon. And then we also had the weekend missions for JP for the 21 stones over the weekend, which is always a great time. Anyway, though. Moving on from that, all of that stuff, of course, went live. We can skip through all that, of course, because it went up. As well, a couple of other events did go live as well. Let me get to, let's see, where did it start here? Warriors. So that was the Afterlife. That's a great out of context quote.
That is very out of context.
We had the Android story event go up where you could get the Yard Track Goku. We had the... Let's see, what was the other one that I was just looking at? Obviously, the Cell Games one. We had the old Cell Games one go up. The Hope story event. The Extreme Z area with the exchange units also went up. Lots of things were happening for the Majin Vegeta and Goku thing. Trunks's went up. And then... we did get top grossing on JP, which is awesome. We did only get the 30 stone one, unfortunately, but that is A-okay, because it's always nice to get that. There was also, do you remember this glitch in particular? The failure has been granted in the challenge event Infinite Dragon Ball History. Should be noted. Experience that should not be acquired naturally during the failure content. Stage clear Zenny has fallen into earn. I think basically the missions were broken. Is essentially what's happening there. 20-second battlefield went up. 2020 Dokkan, the beginning, New Year mission, which introduced the brand new rat item to JP, which was, if you are not aware, that is something from Dragon Ball. It's not just a random rat. There was the brand new, kind of, not really, but sort of out of left field, New Year's LR banner. It was kind of out of left field, though, because of how much they gave it some TLC, and as well that you could do 400 stones worth of rotations, which was 2 on the banner rather than just 1. Oh, 6. Okay, well, sorry. Yeah. Thank you for being here. So 3 rotations, essentially 200 stones on each rotation, and guaranteed LR at the end. Some of the LRs that should have been there weren't, which does really suck.
They only added Baby and GT Trio on JP.
Yeah, which they definitely could have added some more. I understand why they don't want to add some of those new LRs, but... come on, guys. Anyway, though, moving on from that, they did update the Dragonstone sale, which was really cool. We got new New Year's missions, new login bonus. The lucky bonus was continued, or the lucky login bonus, rather, was continued. And then, obviously, everything else from the celebration prior to that was... there as well. By the way, with that New Year's banner, there was a lot of cool stuff added. Kid Goku, Gogeta, and Broly hit, not to mention the boy Namek Goku, Zamasu and Trunks, Piccolo, transforming Vegeta, all the rest. So they did a very, very good job, I felt like, on that banner, because they really killed it with new content. I think everything but the LRs honestly, was really cool on that banner. Everything else I'm not going to lie, a little bit disappointed by. But everything else, I think they did a really good job. Anyway, though. We did get new Extreme Z Awakenings for some really old Super Saiyan 2 Gokus. The Tech one, the AGL one, and the Fizz one. Do the Tech one and the AGL one? Oh no, I guess it just looks really similar. I was going to say, do they share art? But I guess it's like almost the AGL one's doing a Kamehameha and the other one's just like firing a bunch of individual ki blasts, but they look almost identical.
Honestly they do.
Interesting. But yeah, that was actually for an Extreme Z area, right? Which was it got added to the Hero Extermination event Extreme Z area, which is kind of unfortunate because obviously, the Extreme Z area sucks. Anyway, though, the rival category banner did go live, which was the banner that was the opposition to the EZA Zamasu. I love the name of the Afterlife event, the Afterlife tournament, by the way, on DBZ Space. Story event, large exciting game, dude guy of the Afterlife.
Oh yes, of course. How could I forget?
Yes. That's really good. Anyway, though, so obviously Zamasu EZA went live. There was a figure collaboration, event, which was kind of in the game and also not. This was really interesting, actually. So the STR and AGL Super Saiyan 2 Goku and Majin Vegeta, respectively, both got a brand new EZA. And to celebrate their EZA, they both got figures of their SSR forms. Those figures are actually really cool. I have ordered them and they are going to be opened up on the channel eventually. But
Nice.
that was really cool that they gave them an EZA. Really cool that they got figures. Not to mention that they got their very own banner, which was really interesting because usually they don't do EZA banners like that. Usually they do them where it's obviously like the EZA unit and then two other Dokkan Fest units. But since these guys aren't Dokkan Fest, they gave them their own neat little banner, which I did think was really cool. I am pretty glad they did that. Regardless, though, with that, they also did do a figure giveaway for those two on Twitter, which was also really cool. Obviously, that was unfortunately only available for Japanese audiences. So, sorry, United States gang, but that is just the way that it has to be. Either way, though, that was pretty cool. And it is interesting as well because we don't often see EZAs where it's like units that aren't Dokkan Fest. They're not as common, I would say, because they like to EZA some of the old Dokkan Fest units, and then sometimes units that are just the same form get their EZA added onto those units, or those EZAs. But in this case, they got their own, which is really cool, which has happened a couple of times before, but it's just not as common. Because usually they get it added to like the same form. I'm trying to think of a good example, but I can't. AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the Dokkan Fest one, had the STR one added to his EZA.
Oh, true.
Like that. Anyway, so that was an Eternal Rival Gacha. The featured units were those two Goku and Vegetas. It was cool that the banner existed. Obviously, you shouldn't summon on it.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, but nonetheless, though, still pretty cool. And then, of course, we did have the brand new STR banner go live, brand new, I guess, a revamp of the STR banner, which brought us an awakening for the STR support Kaba and the STR support Hit. If you are not aware, they are currently going through all of these support units and giving them awakenings, basically giving them the same passive for their type. And it was kind of a shame, because they gave Kaba an updated SA, and they didn't give Hit one. They just said, screw you, Hit, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Really unfortunate, to be honest.
Definitely.
Because I was really hoping for a new Hit essay. Because it's Hit. How can you not like him? But anyway, moving on though, those banners did go live. I think that STR banner was all right. I know there were a couple units that are kind of on it, but for the most part, it was all right. The Goku and Vegeta EZA did go live. And then we had a bunch of, I don't know why this happened, but we had a bunch of Dragon Ball Super events go live. the Universe 6 vs 7 event went live, and the Tournament of Power 1 with the Kale and Caulifla also went live. And if I'm not mistaken, that is everything, at least in the news. Let me double check in game, because that is all DBZ Space goes up to at the moment. I know DBZ Space has been low-key slacking on new news, but regardless of that, while I'm opening up my game here, we can talk about V-Jump, which did get leaked, or not leaked, I guess, just posted. It's weird because it's not really like a leak. Also, welcome back. No, you're good. It's not really a leak. It's more so like just an image of the book. I mean, I guess it's a leak of what's in the book because you didn't pay for it, but either way, it's a lot less of a leak than it is just... Anyway, enough of, nitpicking here. Basically, by the way, that is everything else that has gone live on JP, rather. I did just check. So we got word of the beginning of the 5th year anniversary. A lot of interesting information here, actually, about all of this. So we did get the announcement of a brand new Super Saiyan Blue Goku that would be the basically like box trophy character. Like, you know how for first year we got the Goku holding up the 1, and then second year the 2, and then the Super Saiyan 3 Goku holding the 3, and then for fourth year we got the Super Saiyan 4 Goku holding the 4-star ball. I don't know why they just didn't have him hold up the number 4, but whatever. I think they did, but it's still weird that they gave him the Dragon Ball, because I don't think... Did the other ones have the Dragon Ball or no? I don't remember.
No, but it kind of... Because he doesn't actually hold up 4 fingers. But I mean, it kind of would be weird.
I guess. Well, because Goku holds up 5 fingers.
He does? Oh,
the Blueku. But it is, I suppose that is just kind of like him holding out his hand to shoot a ki blast is more so what that looks like. Either way, though, that is going to be the trophy unit for this year. It's going to be Super Saiyan Blue Goku. It is a little bit weird. Someone on the comment section, I believe it was Old Kai Gaming, shout out to my man, on the news video that I did about this, did point out that they just straight up skipped Super Saiyan God. Like, I understand that by technicality it makes sense because obviously Super Saiyan 4 is the 4th form and then Super Saiyan Blue is the 5th form, but they really did just yeet Super Saiyan God out of existence.
Yeah.
Which kind of stinks because obviously I think there's more Super Saiyan Blue Gokus than there is God Gokus. In the game, but regardless though, still very cool. Obviously it's always nice when we get these little trophy units for the box and just kind of says, hey, I was playing during this time of the game. So either way, very, very cool there. Moving on from that, so this was really, really cool. They had the first like official announcement because obviously we data mined it and knew about this for a little bit now, but the stickers are going to be added in. You'll be able to add effects to a card's illustration, and you can also, with the stickers, get rid of the diamond background, which I know a lot of people... Yeah, so it is really weird because I guess I was thinking, like, how will a sticker mechanic of adding something to a card allow you to take something away? But I think what they're doing, or I guess this is more so just, like, speculation, is that basically the diamond background that already exists on every card is going to become a sticker. And then, of course, you don't always have to have stickers on your units. So they're just going to make it so that you can remove the diamond background sticker. That's just, again, 100% speculation on my part, but that's the only way it makes sense in my head that the sticker mechanic is going to incorporate the diamond backgrounds. I mean, there are diamond background stickers in the game's files right now. So it does say specifically, though, about the diamond backgrounds in the V-Jump. So anyway, there will be more diamond backgrounds added in the future. No, there will be more stickers added in the future, and that will be a mechanic that will be coming to the game, and I know a lot of people will be really excited about the diamond backgrounds. We did have the skill orb, so this is interesting. A lot of people were obviously kind of speculating that 5th year, and we sort of called it this for a while, would be getting equipment, which is not the case, unfortunately. A lot of people saw those orbs. You know, we saw those orbs, Kayvon. It was like the bronze, silver, and gold ones. It's not actually equipment. They are skill orbs that can strengthen a character's potential even more. The abilities you can power up will get even stronger. You'll be able to get skill orbs from a Training with Whis event. Then they make a note here on the Reddit post that translated this. I'm not sure if we'll get different type of skill orbs with each hidden potential orb, or if it'll be powered up abilities are based on type like dodge for AGL and additional attacks for tech. We'll know more when 5th anniversary does draw near. It does specifically show, though, in the actual V-Jump itself, that the skill orbs are directly going to be related to things that are in the potential system. Like, it literally shows dodge and additional with different types next to them in the V-Jump. So, only time will tell how that exactly works. When we get closer. So unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's going to be something that's too groundbreaking. I mean, it'll be interesting, surely, but it seems like it'll kind of just be an extension of the potential system at the moment, from what we know anyway. Next, we did have, this was really weird that they did this. I guess it's sort of just like to kind of get you hyped. But there are going to be new events, that 3 of them, bare minimum. I'm sure there'll probably be more than that. But with new characters to recruit while the 5th anniversary is up. With the silhouette, we can see that those are a brand new Zamasu, a brand new, I guess you can't call it teen or baby Vegeta. So I guess we'll call it child Vegeta. And child, kid, there you go. Kid Vegeta and Kid Broly, because in the silhouette they're not the ones that are in the space pods, because they both have the Saiyan armor on. You can see the shoulder pieces. That Vegeta specifically looks like the scene where he's eating the fruit and he's sitting next to Raditz. And then Nappa comes up and informs them that the planet Vegeta just exploded. And he's like sitting on the rock or whatever. And then I think that Broly, welcome back again, is from when he is fighting Ba on planet Vampa. I believe that's what that's from anyway. Anyway, though, moving on from that, there will be events for that, which is also really cool, too. I know I talked about this in the news video, but it is always really awesome that they're incorporating more Dragon Ball Super Broly movie stuff in, because obviously they have so much more of that movie that they can incorporate into the game that they already haven't yet. So that'll be very, very cool as well. And this was a absolutely huge thing that they announced in the V-Jump. Guaranteed character that can be Dokkan Awakened to LR on your 55th summon. During the campaign, there will be tickets given which you can use to summon on a special banner. On your 55th summon on this special banner, you will receive a character that can awaken all the way to LR. And by the way, this is going to be a summonable LR, because it does mention there the number 55, which I believe is the team cost. So I'm pretty sure, from at least everything that I can see here, that it is going to be... Oh, no, wait, that's the 55th summon. I'm a dummy. So actually, we don't know that. But I think people are kind of assuming right now that it is. Also, that would sort of make sense, I guess, if it was the 55th summon, and then they're kind of referencing the team cost.
But their team cost is 77.
What am I thinking of then? That's 55. Well, I just had a big dumb moment.
No idea.
Call me out in the chat then. You won't. It'll be really funny if actually someone comments and then realizes that we got to this point where we realized we goofed. What am I thinking of that's 55 cost then?
I have no idea.
Oh well. Been playing too much Legends. It's corrupting my brain.
Oh no.
Anyway, though. Well, wow. Wait. So what am I thinking? Anyway, I'll look it up later. My justification is now completely null. Anyway, realistically, that is just speculation, though, that it will be a summonable LR. I think a lot of people are just kind of...
it's probably going to be... what's it called? It's going to be like... Remember back with the 4th year ticket banner? Mm-hmm. It's probably just going to be that, but after 55 summons, you get an LR.
Gotcha.
So it is going to be a summonable LR.
Yeah, because I mean...
have a free-to-play LR on a gacha banner.
Well, no, of course not. But they could pull a fast one on you and, make it one specific LR. You know what I mean? Like, they could make it a brand new LR, and then that's the only one that you can pull.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think that's unlikely, but it is a possibility.
So. That is very unlikely.
It would be really scummy, though, if they add a new LR to that, and then it's just like part of the pool.
Oh, no. Don't give them idea.
Bandai Spy. Hey, close your ears. Close your ears. Anyway, though, regardless of all of the logistics of that, it is super, super cool that they are just giving you an LR for free, regardless if it is already a free-to-play LR or not, or if it's zonable, or if it's specific, or whatever it may be. I honestly think so far the highlight of this preview is the Kid, Vegeta, and Broly, and the stickers. Which is, I know, weird to say. The LR doesn't really excite me. I think that's just hashtag whale things. But either way, though, I mean, the LR is obviously exciting. But I know people have wanted time and backgrounds removed for like a long time. So either way, though, so far, that is all we have for JP News for the 5th year anniversary. And that is going to wrap up the news for this podcast episode for JP. Kayvon, take it away. Right.
I'm going to try and go decently quickly since there's a lot more global stuff. So, way back when we had the first place for the Kale and Caulifla banner, 30 stones for top grossing. We had an issue with the Portal of Memory where the original BoJack story event was still in the portal while the new one was up, so they fixed that.
Really?
Yeah, it was weird.
That is really weird.
We got the survey for the future Extreme Z Awakenable character, which was Fizz VB or AGL Rose.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Fizz VB definitely won.
By a landslide, he won.
Yeah. We had the Merry Christmas Dokkan Festival go live, the JP Tanabata banner, disguised as Christmas. You know how it is. Mouse work, please. There we go. The Christmas packs went live. There's an issue with quests and certain missions. What is this? There was just some places where people got rewards when they didn't complete the mission, so they fixed that. They extended the Christmas summon tickets. And we got the new countdown to 2020 login bonus. And special missions. And where's the actual celebration? Oh no, it's just a login bonus account now. Yeah, that was it. Never mind.
Nice.
I hear the 2020 celebration. So this went live. It brought us Fizz Piccolo, the Aim for Extreme Z Awakening campaign for the 7 Battlefield Awakenings, the New Year's Dokkan Festival, which was the same as JP, minus some of the Easy A's. Namek, Goku, Trunks, and Zamasu were also absent from the banner. And Global got Tech Broly as an LR that you could pull.
Yeah, which was interesting because JP didn't have it.
Yeah. Probably a trade-off for the 3 category leads we didn't get.
Didn't they do that on another banner? Like something where they added Tech Broly on Global, but they didn't on JP?
I honestly don't remember, I'll be honest.
Yeah, that happened on something before. Anyway, continue.
Either way, we had a Dragonstone sale go live, the LR Prime Battle Cell, and the two Cell Saga events for the Yardrat Goku and the STR Exchange Vegeta, Piccolo's Banner, the Worthy Rivals category summon, the Dokkan event, the stages for the free-to-play Frieza, Piccolo, and Gohan that you can farm up to 100% for free, the Easy A's for Piccolo and Frieza, we got the Weekend Summon and the special missions. We have the Future Saga category banner along with STR Cells EZA. And the Extreme Z area for the exchange units went back, and along with the event for the free exchange Goku, the Vegeta event with the Pudding and the My Puma Vegeta, and the Monaka event all went live.
Nice.
Mouthfuls. We had the special missions, the login bonus. And let's see what else. We had an issue with Cell Super Attack.
Which cell?
The LR cell, actually. So apparently his super attack stated he massively lowered defense when in reality he greatly lowered defense. So they fixed that real quick.
On that real quick.
Yeah, we got the first place achieved for 20 stones. So 40 stones total.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Piccolo's event got teased. The weekend summon login bonus went live. A bunch of stuff went live. Oh yeah, this was cool. Oh yeah, well, first there's an issue. The weekend ticket was broken, so everybody got a new one. And they removed the old one. It was weird. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot got promoted in Dokkan.
Which was cool. Funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was also low-key bait, too.
It was, yeah.
Because they were like, they didn't actually do a crossover. Sometimes they do just promote stuff in Dokkan because Dragon Ball, because I mean, it's just more Dragon Ball fan eyes on it. But then, of course, everybody's always like, crossover. But, you know, sometimes it doesn't amount to anything.
You can't really have a crossover with a regular Dragon Ball Z game, you know? Nothing really to crossover, really.
Fighters.
I mean, that had 21.
There's an original character in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Oh yeah, true. That Ginyu Force Lady, I think.
I think it's Jace's sister, right? Something like that.
Oh, that's weird. I don't like that.
Or like Jace's cousin or something.
That's weird. Yeah. Space Australia, go away.
Space.
Anyhow, the Extreme Z Awakening campaign went live for the EZAs. I'm pretty sure we beat all of them by this point, so we'll get those early February, it said. Serve maintenance went live. That brought us some interesting stuff that we'll get to after all this stuff goes live. Everything went live. I'm saying a lot of stuff going live.
Live. This podcast may as well be live at this point.
I mean, it is. What do you think we're
doing? Fair. It does say on air. That is true.
Speaking of live, Heroes, I don't like this. We got Heroes way too soon, and I'm sad.
Why?
Well, I remember what they did last year. They used it for 4th anniversary bait.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping they do the same, so I at least have some stones for it.
Oh my gosh.
Nah, but that's just me. Like, I mean, it's nice we got this so quickly, and I guess they had a reason to, but it's also not nice because we just went through GLR, and now we have Heroes.
It's true.
Granted, JP has been slaughtered when it comes to summons lately, too, so... But anyhow, the new Heroes banner went live, a little campaign that brought us the free-to-play Cumber with this story event.
Cumber.
A little
you mean Evil Saiyan?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
The old Heroes event is back to a new battlefield, and it also brought on the 23rd a Rising Dragon Carnival with the new launch and Oceanus Shenron.
Along with I'm glad they
Brienne's Awakening.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and a few story events are going live with it, and the Fighter story event is finally coming back after 3,000 years. And besides that, the login bonus and special missions went live, and that is it for global news.
Nice. You're always so much quicker than I am.
Words.
Word?
I do think there was a leak on the Reddit for something. No, that was for JP, never mind.
For?
There was something with Vegeta and Gogeta on JP for 5th anniversary.
Oh, I don't know if that ever got or amounted to anything.
I mean, Kawhi confirmed it is going to be Gogeta and Vegeta, so...
He did?
Yeah.
Where was this tweet? We need to report on this. Hold on.
He said it multiple times at this point.
How did I not see this? How did no one put it in news? What?
People sleeping, I guess?
Literally? Wait,
well,
I forgot.
He hasn't had an official confirmation, but people have been saying, like, oh, so is it going to be Gogeta and Vegeta? And he's just been like, yeah, probably.
And that is pretty, that's usually a pretty safe bet to believe what he says. Fair enough. All right, well.
I mean, it's either going to be Vegeta with Gogeta or Gogeta and Broly, so.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know, personally, like, real quick side note before we get into the topic, since we actually did go through that, like, semi-fast. I do think, personally, this will also kind of play into our point a little bit of today's video, or today's topic, rather. But I do think that people find Vegito, just a little bit more hype than Broly. So I honestly think that they'll probably pick Broly. I mean, I love Broly, personally. But I do... Huh?
Wait, what did you say?
I said I do love Broly personally, but I do think that probably for summons and making money, I would think that Vegeta would probably sell a little bit better than Broly would. But that does bring us into today's point. So, since 5th year anniversary is all but confirmed to have Gogeta and possibly Vegeta, we are going to be talking about today, are there too many duplicate characters? As in, are there too many cards of the same character in Dokkan? What does it mean for the game? What does it mean for the characters that don't get any love? What does it mean for my box? All of this and more
after these messages that you better watch. Please.
And we are back.
You better have enjoyed that ad. Give us ad revenue read.
Please. Susan isn't doing us any favors out here.
We need money.
Help your boys out. Anyhow, today we are going to be talking about the multitude of the exact same character. Wow, crazy. In Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. So, we're going to be talking about, are there too many of the same character? Now, I suppose we should preface this with the fact that, we're not necessarily referencing a character. We're not saying, there's too many Gokus in the game. Of course there's a lot of Gokus. That's who the anime is about. He's the main character, It's
too many Vegetas.
Yeah, he's also the main character, What? It's
no,
crazy. No way, There's no Garlic Jr. in the game. Blasphemy. We will talk about Garlic Jr. in a little bit, though, as an example. But when we refer to characters in this case, just know that we are talking about forms in particular, right? So we're saying and I suppose maybe for some of these we'll have to be a little bit lenient, because obviously Super Saiyan Gogeta and then Blue Gogeta are kind of a little bit of an odd one in the scenario, and then obviously Blue Vegetos and Super Vegetos and stuff like that. But generally when we're saying character in this case, we're meaning Base Goku, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, Omen, MUI. You get the point, right? Again, there will be some exceptions, especially with transforming units. But regardless, let's get into it. So, the simple answer, yes, right? I definitely think that 100% of some units, there are way too many of the same character. Now, the easy answer for why that is the case and why they always introduce new cards of the same character over and over is because they know that particular character will sell, right? Let's take, for example, Super Vegeta, right? Super Vegeta has 3 Dokkan Fests, 2 of which were really, really big for the game. Of course,
3.
Yeah. AGL Super Vegeta, of course, being the first and being the most powerful 70% unit at the time, and maybe even the most powerful powerful unit in the game at the time. The counter mechanic at that point in Dokkan was ridiculous. Of course, then we had Fizz Super Vegeta, being the Majin Buu Saga category lead. He was just a normal Dokkan Fest. He wasn't necessarily part of a big crazy celebration. And I suppose that the 70% lead wasn't, but I feel like it was a little bit more acknowledgeable as a bigger thing just because it was simply a bigger deal for the game at the time that it was released. And then, of course, we have LR Super Vegeta.
Fair enough. I didn't think he was counted.
I mean, it is a little bit weird on that, right? And that's what I was talking about with logistics wise, because it's well, technically that card is Goku and Vegeta, but when he transforms, he is Super Vegeta. And not only that, I think when most people think of the card, right, they probably think of it as Super Vegeta. And I know at least when I reference that card, I'm usually saying Vegeta is the card, even though I guess that's sort of ironic considering you don't get the transformation as much as you use the unit with just Goku and Vegeta. But generally speaking, I think when people think of the card, they think of Super Vegeta. And I think that is sort of important for this discussion, because it's what the community perceives as too many of the same character, right? Because obviously, I mean, I don't know. I'm under the impression that when people think of Super Vegito, they think of that LR as well, right? Would you agree?
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah. So, I think that most certainly, and I think that the simple answer, right, for why that's the case, obviously, is, well, they sell, right? Why do you think that there's so many, blue Vegito cards, or we have a bunch of Goku Blacks, right? Or we have a bunch of, well, I guess we actually don't have a bunch of MUI Goku, so I'm kind of surprised that they haven't tried to really milk us for that one. But like Super Saiyan 3 Goku, think about how many Super Saiyan 3 Gokus there are in the game. I'm saying Goku a lot.
There's only really 3, technically.
Well, I mean, for units wise,
do you count Angel and Super Saiyan 3 as the same, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna count those as the same just because it's not really a transformation as much as it is, like I mean, I don't know if I would even consider that a different form because their power level isn't really different. I mean, as far as I understand, anyway. So like, I would probably consider those the same, and I think in the eyes of the community, they would probably consider that the same as well. At least that's under the impression that I'm in anyway. But like, think about it. I mean, STR Super Saiyan 3 Goku was initially released on its own banner way, way, way back in the day. Sure. Then we had AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We have the Tech 120 lead. We have the LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We have the brand new Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Am I missing any? I don't think so. Not summonable ones that I can think off the top of my head anyway.
Well, let's got to remember the reason, probably a good reason why we have so many of them is also because they all come from so many different moments in the show.
That is true.
And at least to me, I feel like while the naming convention does suck most of the time, where you can't run 2 units that technically shouldn't have the same name, like the end of the Cell Saga Trunks where he destroys Cell in his own timeline has the same name as the Dragon Ball Super Trunks doing the Father-Son Gallic Gun.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like,
I mean,
that
is,
I get it,
it is the same Trunks.
Yeah, but like,
I understand what you're saying. It's very weird.
Like, at the same time, like, it's a different moment, and if we have to get another character that's technically the same character to represent a different moment in the show, is that really a bad thing?
No, not necessarily.
Here's an example. If you, like, because I remember you liked the Hirudegarn movie, right?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
So, if we had a Super Saiyan 3 Goku from the Majin Buu saga, right?
Yeah.
Would you not also want a Goku doing the Dragon Fist?
I mean,
even though he's still Super Saiyan 3?
I mean, we technically have that, but I see the example you're making.
Yeah, it's like you'd still want both characters, even though they're technically the same character.
That is true.
Technically not, because one is Angel, but...
You're right. I think that also then kind of brings up maybe that like this also sort of depends on the character, because you're right, Super Saiyan 3 Goku has a multitude of moments that you can take from. I mean, what's in the game right now, right? We have the Dragon Fist, we have Goku versus Janemba, we have Goku versus Kid Buu in the new one, right? We have the Dragon Fist
Goku
again.
versus Majin Vegeta.
No, that's versus Kid Buu. That doesn't count.
No, it's Majin Vegeta. It's definitely...
Shut up. No, stop it, Bandai. Your Bandai's fine. Anyway, you get the point, right? But
then wait, you for a second.
No, I was just gonna say, like, them, for example, if we take Super Vegito, like Super Saiyan Vegito, has only appeared in, I mean, comparatively to all the rest of the characters, a little bit of Dragon Ball, and there's only so much they can take from a couple of chapters or a couple of episodes.
True.
Because obviously, like, I mean, with Vegito, right, they've done a ton of stuff that Vegito has, done in the show. I mean, there are still a couple of things that they can take from Buff Vegito.
Please.
They've even done Candy Vegito at this point. which is obviously a little bit different than Super Vegito, even though he technically was Super Vegito when he got turned into candy, even though the card is base. But I digress.
We'll get the summonable card, Super Saiyan Candy Vegeta.
Yes, yo, that would be kind of cool though if there was one where he like goes from Candy back to Vegito.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. But either way, though, I do think it depends on the card. Okay, so let's use. Wait,
I just thought of something really dumb. Imagine a Candy Vegeta. That's base. Right?
Yeah.
And then he transforms into Super Saiyan, but he's still just a candy, so he looks the only thing changes is like the background image.
That would be pretty funny, actually. Like the key flares up around him, but then like it just goes back to him being
Candy
just a candy.
Super.
That's pretty funny. I would like that. That'd be dope. But like, okay, so let's take another example then, right? Mm-hmm. Let's take Super Gogeta as an example. I'm not talking about DBS Gogeta.
DBS or
no. Just Gogeta from the Janemba movie from Fusion Reborn. So
he's even technically worse than Vegito because he's had even less screen time.
Right, he had like 2 minutes of screen time. He did like 2 or 3 attacks total, and
he did leave an impact.
Yeah, we have the STR one, we have the Int one, and then we have the Transforming Fizz one, right? Mm-hmm. And some of those just take parts from the other ones too, and from the attacks. I mean, I suppose I can't blame them. There's not much to take.
His only move is really the Soul Punisher, so
right, and the kick up, I guess, as well. And I mean, he can
combo, though,
like the we'll keep in mind too, the SSR of the STR Gogeta is a different super attack. It's let me look it up. But either way, right? The point that I'm trying to make here is that that's already 3 big boy Dokkan. I mean, well, definitely STR Gogeta because he was groundbreaking when he came out. Int Gogeta was also pretty busted when he came out in the game, but I guess he was technically just another. Well, no, he was there for a pretty big celebration. Then obviously the anniversary Gogeta as well. Right. There is something to say, I will say, despite us kind of already establishing the rules, I guess we're going to break them. Of the fact that it has now been, let me think about this. 3 anniversaries. I mean, okay. Do you count Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta as an anniversary unit? Because he came out...
250 million downloads.
Yeah, but he came...
Not really anniversary.
Because he came out after the 4s, right?
He's not anniversary, but he's a
big boy.
Yeah, because like, think about like Gohan and Cell.
Right.
They're not anniversary, but they're still big boy units.
That's true.
Their download celebration.
Because like...
Which is arguably just as important as the anniversary.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. Because if that's the case, right, that means that for that, we had Super Saiyan 4 Tech Gogeta, the 3rd year Gogeta, and now this new one, right? And not to mention Blue Gogeta was also a huge celebration, right? And again, that's kind of breaking our own rule of the forms thing. But at the same time, that
also
is
technically completely different continuity.
True. But
Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta.
A lot of people do still use that as an argument. Which I think is interesting because I don't know. That is weird though because I don't like consider Blue Vegito or Vegito Blue rather and Super Vegito like to be anywhere in the same realm. But in my weird headspace, I do kind of put Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta with Super Gogeta. I don't know. That is weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Yeah, like just in the way that I kind of like justify it in my head or think about it. I don't know. Regardless, though. I definitely think that one really big point that I wanted to bring up with this, right, is that I think that... So, okay, let me think about this, right? It's good to update old cards and give them new animations, especially...
Like what? You mean like with Awakenings or TRs?
With new cards, like...
Oh, like new... Okay.
For example, right, you could definitely consider the... STR or rather, let me think about this. Like, you could consider LR Gogeta an upgrade of the Super of the past two, right?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Or something like that. Or let me think of one that would be a better example. I guess the Soul Punisher is a really good example, right? We have the Soul Punisher with the STR one, and then it just gets upgraded with the LR, right?
I mean, even with the Int one, it gets upgraded also.
Right, exactly. So, by the way, the other thing that I was way back from before, the STR Gogeta and his SSR does do Big Bang Kamehameha.
Oh, yeah, the Big Bang Kamehameha, true.
Yeah.
Even the LR does it for his 12 key.
Yeah. Which they just ripped the Super right from that, by the way.
Yeah.
So I think that there is something to be said that, that is good that they make a new unit with a better version of the SA and just a more powerful version of the character. But at the same time, and also if it's a well-liked character, I think people are a little bit more open to it. But I will say, having repeats of the same character a lot like that does take up Dokkan Fest slots for other characters who definitely need it, right? So let me give you an example, right? I think actually a really good example of this is the Fizz Piccolo. So Piccolo doesn't really have, well, surprisingly, not as many cards in Dokkan as you would think, but or at least as many viable cards as you would think, but he certainly doesn't have. Does he have another Dokkan Fest card?
No, he only has one.
Right. And think about how many different, and even like not even saying like Dokkan Fest, right? Think about how many like Piccolo moments. I suppose he has gotten a little bit more, but if we're talking specifically Dokkan Fest, right? There is a lot more of certain characters that are literally the same character that have gotten Dokkan Fests compared to Piccolo, right? And Piccolo has so many different moments that could definitely be made into Dokkan Fests. But he's only had one, right? And it's a little bit different than a character, say, like Metal Cooler, right? It makes sense that there's only one Metal Cooler Dokkan Fest in the game because he's only in one movie, unless you count Heroes, but that's different. So, like, there's characters like that who definitely deserve more love. I mean, Krillin doesn't even have a Dokkan Fest, for Pete's sake. And, we have a couple of Super Saiyan 3 Gokus. We have so many Super Saiyan 1 Gokus, right? So I feel like, these units that come out that have a lot of the same character already in the game, sure, it's cool that, we're getting another version of them, a different moment or an updated super attack or what have you. But at the same time, it takes away a slot from a character that desperately needs some representation in the game. Now, granted, that does sort of go back to marketing, right? In the way that the characters that they do give multiple versions of, the reason for that is that they sell a lot better than these characters that need more representation, right? I mean, not many people are going to summon for a Dragon Ball Yamcha Dokkan Fest, as much as that sucks, because that would be awesome, and Yamcha was actually cool in Dragon Ball. But it just takes away opportunities from a lot of these characters, right? Or like, I know a lot of people really want like a Kid Goku that transforms, and we do have one Kid Goku now, which is a very memorable Kid Goku moment, obviously. But people want a Kid Goku from like when he transforms when they're imprisoned by Pilaf, or like one when he's facing Jackie Chun, Master Roshi at the World Tournament, right? And they all think Goku dies.
My favorite.
Like that, right? Would be a super awesome dual Dokkan Fest of like Jackie Chun keeping Goku in like the electrical I forget what that move is called, but like the thing where he can't move, where he's stunned. That's ironic.
The Japanese name is very hard to pronounce, but I remember the English name. It's Thunder Shock Surprise.
Oh, okay. That sounds very Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Right, but like that, or then when like Goku's resisting and then he transforms into the Great Ape, or there's other moments from that fight that you can take too. But like that would be a really
from the
cool
last like kickoff.
Yeah.
Where they're flying at each other and Jackie Chan's leg is just longer, so he wins.
Like,
still stupid.
Of course. But there's so many great moments like that in just all of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, right? That would be great Dokkan Fest cards. But unfortunately, they're simply taken up in terms of like Dokkan Fest slottage for a year, right? They are by characters that are already pretty represented in the series, right? So I definitely think that there's something to be said in that regard where they should consider giving some other characters some love because they have been proven wrong in the past. I know that Kid Goku, I mean, I'm not going to say that I know this for sure because obviously I have no way of knowing this, but this is just kind of me assuming from context clues, right? It took them mad long to make a Kid Goku Dokkan Fest, right?
Yeah.
I assume that that's probably because they didn't think that he would sell as well as, you know, another, like, Super Saiyan God Goku or something, you know? Like something that's a little bit more newer or a little bit more, I guess, unfortunately, as it would say, Dragon Ball Z-esque. I swear this isn't a Dragon Ball rant. I'm just using this. I'm using Dragon Ball Kid Goku as an example because he fits well for this example. But they hadn't made one until then, right? And Kid Goku killed it on both versions. He did really well. So I think that Bandai and Akatsuki realized that, hey, maybe, you know, these guys do want some of these characters that are a little bit less like, you know, perceived, I would think, by Bandai as maybe not as profitable. Because they do sell well.
Well, you do have to admit, though, Kid Goku's probably not the best example.
That's true. You know what I think?
He is still a Goku, and as sad as it is, from what I understand, like, not to judge anyone, but the Japanese player base, the majority of them, really only care about Goku and Saiyan cards. Because obviously he's the main character and all that.
Right.
So, if it was like a Dragon Ball character and it was like a Dokkan Fest launch or something, probably no one would summon for it at all, on the Japanese side at least.
Which is a good point, because no one did summon for launch on that double rate banner.
Yeah, so I feel bad saying it, but the only reason Kid Goku probably sold as well as he did is because he's still Goku.
That's true.
Which sucks, realistically, because that's probably one of the most important moments from Dragon Ball, where he punches Piccolo through the gut.
Yeah, you're right. I think a character that Bandai overestimates a lot, though, now that I'm looking at it, is Future Gohan. Like, there's been the Future Gohan, the original tech one, I believe, was released on his own banner initially, and then we had the Fizz one, and now we have the tech one, and I feel like they think that... Huh?
You mean the Ant one?
Ant, my bad. I think that they think that he'll do well or better than he does, but I feel like no one really summons on Future Gohan when he comes around.
I mean, everybody only summoned for the Ant one because it was a hybrid Saiyans leader.
Right, but I feel like they didn't really care that it was Future Gohan.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I don't think many people besides me summoned for the Fizz one.
I mean, who cared about Turles when he first released until everybody realized he was a godly support?
That is true.
Like, who right now could tell me Turles is their favorite character?
There's a couple people. You'd be surprised.
I mean, fair enough, but at the same time, that's like saying Garlic Jr. is my favorite character.
And we'll get to Garlic Jr. in a minute. I do think there is something to be said, though. There is a little bit of, like, leeway that we have to remember with certain characters, because obviously it's a little bit different with characters that have been in the entirety of the series and characters that are one-off characters, i.e. movie characters and the like.
Yeah.
So, because obviously there's not going to be like, you know, they're not going to make a ton of variations of a movie character because they literally can't, because they have like maybe one or two movie. Yeah, okay, well, he has 3. That's different. There's a lot of content to take there. But like,
even though both LRs are from the same movie.
Shut up. But like Turles is even an example, right? He only appears in one movie. Or, well, actually, that's not true. He does appear in one movie, but it's not actually Turles. But that's kind of different. Like, Hachiyak only appears in one movie. I mean, he doesn't even have a Sonable card. He only has that really bad free-to-play. Huh?
He doesn't even have a real card.
Yeah, he really doesn't have a real card. Janema's a little bit different because, obviously, he's a little bit more popular, and I think that's almost by proxy, sort of, because of Gogeta, but not really. But that definitely factors into it. I'm trying to think of another good example. I mean, there is no... what's the doctor with his brain is in a jar?
Wheeler.
Yes, thank you. That guy. I mean, Cooler is only in 2 movies, and it's not the same... Well, I mean, it's the same Cooler in both, but not the same form.
Well, at least when it came to Fizz Cooler and STR Cooler... Well, there's 2 things. One, Fizz Cooler was old as heck compared to STR Cooler.
Right.
And STR Cooler is also a regular cooler that transforms into Final Form Cooler.
True.
So it doesn't invalidate the other, which is also a reason people would summon.
True. And I do think, though, some people... Because that is a little bit hard of a distinction to make, right? Do people generally consider transformation cards the same character or not? I mean...
Well, to me, honestly, it's both yes and no. Because
I agree. Yeah.
They are, but you can still run them with the character.
Right. But it is, again, it's an example of, like, a Dokkan Fest slot that could have been taken up by a character who has less representation. Not saying Cooler, but, you know, just in general, right? Another good... Oh, I just had one in my head. Oh, Bojack. Bojack has a surprising amount of cards for there only being one movie about Bojack.
Yeah, and he doesn't even have a Dokkan Fest yet.
That is true.
Bojack
I mean, he does have an LR, though.
True.
Right. I mean, there is literally... Tapion has 2 cards. Hyrule doesn't even have a card. Sort of.
True.
Right? He only has the 1. Yeah, so, like, you know, obviously the movie characters are a little bit different, but characters that are in the whole franchise, right? Tien has, like, what? 1 good card? Like, 2 or... No, I'd say he has 3, right? The LR, which is the free one.
I wouldn't say that's good.
Right. He's good, quote unquote. The tech one, and that's really only because of he's a support unit and he also links with some units, right? Yeah. I wasn't going to say it, but thank you. And then the int one is like, okay.
Oh, no, the int one's actually probably the best of the Arwald.
Yeah. So.
Funny enough.
The big long arm boy, or big arm boy, rather.
The forearm one.
Yeah. So.
He's probably the best out of all of them.
You know, it's like, I think at the end of the day, it all comes down to, and you did make a very good point that I kind of forgot about with the Japanese community, right? That they do care about a lot of the Saiyans.
Yeah.
I mean,
keep in mind also, when we got our global advanced character, right? It was still Goku.
That is true.
Probably, honestly, they probably also did that to make sure that when they ported over to JP, it would still sell.
That is true. I mean,
last year they did it with Hit, and Hit got... They probably just made it Goku so they didn't have to suffer a hit like Hit did.
That's true. Not a lot of people summoned for Hit.
Hit just came at a bad time on both versions.
Yeah, that is true. Rest in peace to the homie tech Hit.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, some cards are in a little bit of a different situation where, like, the character just hasn't existed as long as some of the other ones, i.e. Jiren, right? I mean, we only have 2 Jiren cards technically in the game, the free-to-play one and then the pay-to-play one, but obviously he's only existed for a couple of years, whereas these characters have existed for, would it be decades now, or maybe? I don't know. Year math, you get the point. So I don't know. I think you're right. That the true answer to this question is yes and no. Because I suppose, like everything in life, there is a lot of pros and cons to both sides, right? We have that a lot of these characters that are duplicated are characters that really like, or people really like.
And they're all from different moments, usually.
Right. You know, but then there's weird ones here, like everybody loves Gogeta. But Super Gogeta is from 2 minutes, and they have 3 different cards of him, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. But then there's also on the same side, right? It's like you have characters who don't have any representation, and we said we'd bring it up. Garlic Jr. Garlic Jr. has literally 0 representation in Dokkan. Not even like just an unfeatured, not even a free to play card. They can't even give my man the light of day to exist in the game.
I mean, let's see. There's him, Dr. Wheeler. Who else? It just doesn't exist in Dokkan.
Let me look at the movies, because I think that's mainly what we're kind of taking from here. But keep talking, though.
Well, because you also got to remember, there are also some times where this is the only really example I can think of, but like when I was mentioning like characters from different moments having representation, Dokkan itself just kind of throws out the window, because you know how AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku is supposed to be, from Hirudegarn, right? Doing the Dragon Fist and all that.
Yeah.
And then they just made an LR of the exact same moment.
Right. With a better super, which is, again, I know I keep bringing up Gogeta, but is just STR and Int Gogeta with Fizz Gogeta. Right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing again.
Granted, there was a pretty sizable gap between their releases, which I think that also plays a very important part. Because, when you look at the gap between STR Gogeta and Int Gogeta, that's, over a year, I feel, right?
STR Gogeta and Int Gogeta?
Yeah.
Definitely well over a year, yeah. Very much so.
Yeah. And then you have Int Gogeta compared to LR Gogeta. There's a good... I feel like even if there is oversaturation of certain characters, it's not like we're getting 2 Vegetos back to back.
True. I mean,
spacing. When was the last Vegito Blue we got?
That would be. Do you count STR?
Did he come? He came out after. Well, let's just, since talking about summonable Vegeta, it was Tech. Tech is that probably 2 years old at this point.
Yeah. It was 2018, honestly, I think.
As much as I hate to say it, as much as probably people don't like me saying this, but we're overdue for a new Vegito Blue at this point.
I suppose, yeah. That is true.
You gotta remember, I don't know. Maybe that's just how I feel, but
I agree. I mean, especially since he's such a moneymaker.
Yeah, as long as they're not releasing the same character, back to back.
Back to back. Yeah.
Exactly. It's I'm trying to think of an example where they did release a character just, back to back. Of a very similar character. I can't really think of one, which is probably a good thing.
I can't think of any either. Let me see if I can pull up a release list for Dokkan. Release date, Dokkan. But yeah, it is only Dr. Wheelo and Garlic Jr. That are the only movies that are currently not represented. Though there are other characters in some of the movies that are not represented, like Gine does not have a card in Dokkan. And she definitely deserves one. And then I think that it is a little bit different with Broly and Gogeta, because obviously, when we're recording this at the moment, it's a little bit different in regards of new characters, right? Because they have barely any representation. Then again, though, I do suppose Dragon Ball Super Gogeta has the free-to-play card and the new one, and so does Broly. And he has Paragus in Broly, Fizz Broly, AGL Broly. So he has 3 summonable cards. Let me take a look at. Wow, that is really weird, though. Obviously, the last Dokkan Fest on JP was Goku and Vegeta. I'm trying to see. Unfortunately, DBZ Space doesn't go, or DBZ Space, the wiki doesn't go back very far in terms of the new released characters, because it just shows newly released. I don't remember how to get to the. Let me see if I can figure it out. Get to the release date, but I definitely think that it's just a lot of back and forth. Right?
Yeah.
with some of these characters. I do definitely think that, and it's also, again, you have to consider how often the character appears as well.
Definitely.
All right, so real quick then, what would you say is a character that you think is, like, without a doubt, like, without, maybe not without reason, but, like, is really, really overrepresented?
Overrepresented?
Mm-hmm.
That's a hard one, honestly. Because, like, if we're taking the time gap into consideration, I don't feel like there's really anyone who is.
You wouldn't even say, like, wouldn't even say Super Saiyan Blue Goku.
I mean, even then, Blue Goku, like, it depends. Are we counting Kaioken as Blue Goku?
No. Definitely not.
And then, like, I don't know. How to answer that, honestly.
Like, I don't know, because maybe there isn't a character that is truly, like, really, really overrepresented. I definitely think that there are characters that are, like, really, like, or not, like, okay, so I feel like we have, like, tiers here, right, that are, like, not represented at all, underrepresented, represented well, overrepresented, and, like, omega represented, right? I think that, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if anything, actually, a card a unit I can actually think of, Trunks.
That's actually really good. Yeah, no, that's a good answer.
Because here's the thing, with Future Gohan came a Super Saiyan Trunks, right?
With Future Gohan, do you mean
It was
the
a Super
original
Saiyan
one
Trunks.
or Fizz?
No, Int one.
Oh yeah, the armor one.
Yeah, and then you had Cooler, who brought Salsa and all that, right? They had Android 13, who brought another Trunks.
That is true. That's true.
Though that can also be changed because that one is base form, one is Super Saiyan, so
right,
it does change
logistics
up a
of the
bit.
argument.
But,
And then, not
like,
to mention, there's just so many. Like,
it just comes up to characters who sell well: Trunks, Vegeta, Goku, Goku Black.
there's even a lot of, like, I mean, if we're just talking the general character, Trunks has a lot of characters. I mean, you got to think, right? He has Kid, he has Teen, he has Super Saiyan, GT, whatever we call the form that's like Blue Aura from DBS. Trunks has summonable units here. If we count even Kid Trunks, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are we counting World Tournament? Probably not. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Trunks has a lot of cards, is what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and many more. And then, not to mention that, and then that also, like, gets to the equation, like, do you count Great Saiyaman as Gohan?
True.
In terms of, like, just character cardage in the game, how many cards they got?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like at this point, I think we've kind of made all the points that we can make.
Yeah, I think we're just going in circles now.
I think so, which I guess is kind of just this argument, right? That it does go in circles. So let's wrap it up. Since you gave a good example of Trunks, I guess I have to pick one then too, huh? A character that's, like, really, really overrepresented.
The easy answer is Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah,
just
I guess so.
The character.
I think, though, let's wrap it up with this. Do you think that it's good for Dokkan, right, to pick... We're just going to say, for now, right, we obviously know that the first fifth year unit is Gogeta. because Broly is a little bit different because obviously Broly is a newer character, even though we have a bunch. But like Broly or Gogeta and Vegito, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's good that they are the anniversary units yet again?
Well, funny enough, they kind of had a theme.
What do you mean?
Well, the second anniversary was STR Goku and AGL Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4s. Third anniversary was Vegeta and Gogeta. Fourth anniversary is Goku and Vegeta, Super
I see
Saiyan 4.
what you're getting at.
Fifth anniversary is Gogeta Blue and Vegeta Blue.
Fair. That is true. I didn't even think about that.
Now, do I think it's a bad thing? Not really. It's not really a good thing either, but it's gonna sell. Now, I'm honestly more worried about the fact that if we're getting an LR Vegito Blue, and he's just Vegito Blue, the STR one, the Tech one, and the Fizz one's Easy A are all gone. They're all out of the water.
That is true.
They're useless. Because with Gogeta, there's not really a problem, because it would be the only blue Gogeta.
That's true. The only like base blue Gogeta. Oh, and then that brings up like mechanics, because then like, so technically because base Vegito goes right into blue. There is no Super Vegito to blue unless they just make that up. But then that also begs the question, then do they do base Gogeta into blue? Because if they do base, or if they do blue is like just the regular card for Gogeta, then you would assume that they would have to make Vegito the blue as well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Now, unless they pull some shenanigans
and just and make it blue Gogeta and base Vegito into blue Vegito.
Wait, what?
Unless they make it like base Vegito into blue Vegito and then just blue Gogeta.
Well, I was thinking something like a blue Goku and a blue Vegeta into Vegito Blue.
And then the same thing
and like
for
a
Gogeta.
Blue Goku and Vegeta, like just do what Heroes does, a BR, to like do Broly movie.
Here's the problem though. Gogeta and Broly, Goku and Vegeta, when they transform into Gogeta, are base. And they also are in Super. They're not blue, unfortunately. Because remember when they first get the Potara earrings and they're trying to figure out what to do?
Though in the original movie, weren't Goku and Vegeta base when they fused into Gogeta for the first time?
Yes. Oh, wait. Are you talking about Fusion Reborn? No, they were Super Saiyan.
Wait. I swear they were base.
No, they are base. You're right.
Yeah, and then Gogeta becomes Super Saiyan, but in the LR, they're Super Saiyan.
Huh, I guess that is true.
So, I'm just saying,
right,
because it's possible.
It's more of like, that card is more of like a culmination of the events in the movie rather than that specific thing.
Goku and Vegeta fused into Vegito in base.
Yeah. So,
meh.
Fair enough, you got me there.
Yeah, I got myself there, actually.
Self got him?
So, who knows what they could do?
Yeah, we'll see on that one. Do I think, though, regardless of, like, the logistics of the card, do I think that another Gogeta and another Goku is good? Well, if they go down the road like we were talking about with making them blue, right? And especially making them, like, a blue Goku and Vegeta and a blue Goku and Vegeta, I think that's fine if they transform into, especially blue Gogeta, because he only has one card.
Definitely.
And Vegito Blue, I mean, there's already a couple of him, but that's fine. If they do just base of both of those, that's okay for Gogeta, but not for Vegito.
Well, it's not as bad for Vegeta. It's more bad for Gogeta.
Because I'm saying that it invalidates Tech, STR, and Fizz.
Oh, yeah, if it's just regular Vegeta Blue.
Right. That's what I'm saying, yeah. But if it's base for both, Gogeta's fine. And honestly, Vegeta's pretty okay as well, because I mean all the base form Vegeta cards.
The only thing you'd lose is the free-to-play STR Gogeta.
Mm-hmm. And then with Vegeta, it'd be the Tech one, the Int one, which nobody gives a flying care about, and the AGL one.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm kind of surprised. Oh no, wait, never mind. That is sort of wasted though. I was gonna say it is a real shame that that Yosha, like the card art, is wasted on the Tech base one.
Yeah, it's just an SSR of the Tech one.
Yeah, I do hope someday, I know I'm kind of like literally biting myself with everything that I just said, but I do hope we get a Super Vegito someday where the whole fusion animation is from the Buu saga, and then they fuse, and it's like when he's leaning down, and then he stands up, and then goes, Yosha! I really want that as a transformation animation. I can imagine the Dokkan style in my head.
See, what I think would be good with that is maybe some like, see that as a free-to-play EZA or something, where it's a base Goku and Vegeta that fuse into a base form Vegeta.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Then that would be perfect because it would not invalidate anyone.
That would be cool. That would be really cool. Also, I can totally see them doing a transformation animation as well from base to super if they were going to do that with that.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's literally Fizz SV's card art.
Yeah, I mean that could be an active skill for a free. That could be a transformation and an active skill.
Bandai, hit us up. Anyway,
actually, though, I kind of would want the transformation into Vegeta to be an active skill, so you could hear the Yosha.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
And then have a transformation after it. Actually, have it be a reverse Zamasu and Trunks, where the active skills first and then they transform.
That would actually be pretty dope. Bandai, hit us up for the ideas, bro. We got you.
Alright, but I think we've gone on long enough.
Yeah, I definitely think we've made our points, guys. Of course, as always, let us know what you think in the comment section below. I'm glad that we got to talk about this topic today because I know this is a topic that's kind of just always floating around the Dokkan community, especially when a new card comes out that we already have a couple of already. But let us know what you think. Do you think that there's too many of a certain character? Do you think that some characters get underrepresented because there's too many of a certain character? Do you think too many of one character is bad, good? Let us know everything you got to think in the comment section below. Of course, thank you guys for watching the first episode of 2020. I would definitely say it was a very solid discussion.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh yeah, I'm always a fan of when we do, not that I don't like the ones where we have like bullet points and scripted.
I like
scripted, quote unquote, loosely, but I do always enjoy, and I know you do too, and we just kind of do these like not impromptu ones, but ones that are sort of more like loose, and we just sort of throw our ideas around.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, it's always a good time. But anyway, that is going to do it from us. We hope you enjoyed. Of course, hope you're having a fantastic new year. And from all of us here at the Extreme Z Podcast, we will see you in the next one.
See you guys.